Hi, I'm Dana Schwartz, and this is Rise or Die, the official companion podcast for Peacock's original series, Those About to Die. On this podcast, I go behind the scenes with the show's cast and creators to learn how they brought their brutal vision of Rome to life. I talked to acclaimed director and executive producer Roland Emmerich.
When I saw the first race, I was like giddy.
Actor Ewan Ryan.
For an actor, that's a dream, although you do get a lot of sand in your sandals.
And so many more.
You helped summon those ghosts back onto that stage.
Every day when I went to set, I was giggling about what I saw.
I think it's going to be a breathtaking thing.
People will freak out.
Rise or Die launches on July 18th. Watch or listen wherever you get your podcasts.
Finding a new podcast to listen to is easy. Finding a good new podcast, that's a little tougher. So let me recommend one. It's called Something You Should Know. If you like fascinating information you can use in your life from some of the top experts in the world, you're going to like Something You Should Know. I'm the host, Mike Carruthers, and recently we've covered topics like the benefits of laughing, the science of dreaming, where your deep desires come from, even how to make the perfect burger. We produce 3 episodes a week, and each episode is packed with rock-solid intel that will make your life better. And we have a lot of fun doing it. Something You Should Know has been ranked on the Apple Podcast charts every day for over 7 years. A lot of people like this podcast, and you will too. Listen to Something You Should Know wherever you get your podcasts. Look for the bright yellow light bulb on the blue background. It's Something You Should Know.
Welcome back to Angel on Top, a podcast where we watch and discuss every episode of Angel, one by one, spoiler-free, and in tandem with our arch nemesis, those kidnappers over at Buffering the Vampire Slayer. We saw it. We said something. We saw something. We said something. Mm-hmm. I'm your co-host, LaToya Ferguson, a.k.a. the Cordelia Chase of the Bufferingverse, a.k.a. one half of the Gunn Squad, yeah! a.k.a. Arby's Crinkle Fry Vodka, a.k.a. Forever Alone. Womp womp. A.k.a. Gwen Raiden's red hair streak. A.k.a. Daddy. A.k.a. even more annoying new nicknames to come.
And I'm your co-host, Morgan Lutich, a.k.a. the Winifred Burkle of the Bufferingverse, a.k.a. the other half of the Gunn Squad, fuck yeah, all day, a.k.a. Arby's Curly Fry Vodka, a.k.a. the Trumpet, a.k.a. Gwen Raiden's white hair streak, a.k.a. gagging sounds, a.k.a. even more annoying new nicknames to come.
Embrace me as Daddy!
Yes.
And this week, we're watching Angel Season 4, Episode 16, Players. Players was written by Jeffrey Bell and Elizabeth Kraft and Sarah Fain, and directed by Michael Grossman. It aired on the WB on March 26, 2003.
And this is the one where Teen Angel finally notices that something kind of weird is going on with Connor and Cordy, and Gunn gets to go on a James Bond field trip.
Previously on Angel, the rain of fire, even blotting out the sun, first step to something bigger. Ew, they're fucking. Ew, they're having a baby. Gwen Raiden, she's a freak. Don't say the F word. She killed Gunn. She brought Gunn back to life. Angel doesn't know no beast. We need Angelus. We have Angelus. The beast is a boss. Why do you think I let him out? No 80-yard bitch. We have to kill Angelus for our family's safety, Connor. Just a little bit of faith fucking Connor up, not enough, really. She really beat his ass. Angel tells Connor he's back. Our team is back together, but Cordy is such a dramatic bitch. She has to let us know that the worst isn't behind us, but she's trying to say her baby is good. It's, you know what it is. You know what it is. To be fair, they all knew something was weird with Connor and Cordy. Specifically, they realized something's weird with Cordy.
We're at a point where I'm like, Now you're noticing?
Maybe Angel would have noticed sooner had he not been Angelus.
I mean, yeah, I'm not blaming Angel. Like, this is exclusively on, like, Wes and Fred.
Yeah.
This is mostly on Wes.
Congrats to Angel. He got out of this one unscathed, baby.
Good for him. Yeah, I guess being possessed by your evil alter ego will do that for you.
But also, Angel's like, he comes back immediately and is like, I'm smart. Remember that.
Did you all forget that I can a beautiful mind? Because I can.
I love the season. Let us know he can do that. And he keeps reminding us he can do that. I love it. It's great. No notes.
No notes? Not even one note?
No notes on that.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah. Specifically on Angel, who's never done anything wrong, and we've never said a bad thing about him.
Never said a bad thing about Angel the Vampire. He's my best friend, and he's very cool.
Never called him fool. Never said he's bad at motivational speeches or being a leader or a friend.
Nope. Never said never called him bad boss. Never in my life.
So fun fact, this episode is the first of the season to actually reference how short of a time span things have been taking place in.
I appreciated that. That I did appreciate.
Yeah, because Cordelia says she's known about the pregnancy for, since Angelica's return, which was 2 weeks ago.
I'm like, it's been 2 weeks? Like, that I can't believe. That seems like too long to me.
What was it? So he also later he makes a similar reference, Gunn, mentioning the rooftop battle in Apocalypse Nowish, 9 episodes ago, happened in the past 2 weeks.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, this is very headache-inducing.
But you know what else is brought up? Being Ken Marino bug pregnant, baby!
Yes, the return of being Ken Marino bug pregnant. This podcast's favorite thing to remember and recall upon.
Other than Angela's killing Willow's fish. That's the other thing.
Yes, absolutely. But I love that it's brought up and like Wes is like, well, last time Cordelia was pregnant, as if both of these instances are normal and therefore should be compared to each other.
Well,
it's does funny. Cordelia just have a quick womb?
It's funny because Cordelia's like, well, this one's normal and totally good. It's like, when you were Ken Marino bug pregnant, it warped your mind to also think it's good and I'm going to protect my baby. Yeah, like, that doesn't say that it's good.
Oh, God. Shall we dive right in?
You know it feels good if you dive in.
I have heard that. So we pick up where we left off at the baby bump reveal. Cordelia's black beaded choker that has long tendrils continues to be very sexy and evil, and I do love it. But besides
she's
that,
wearing it all episode because it's one day.
It's 1/2 day. So no one knows what to say here.
I was going to say, Gunn and Gwen's party is at noon.
Seemingly.
We get time crunch, baby, time crunch.
To be fair, I do not know what I would say in response to this. Were I Team Angel, I don't know if I would be able to handle this with much more grace and tact. But they're all just like, And she even is like, they're like, why the fuck are you telling us this like now? And she says, it's not like I've been hiding it. Ron Howard, Arrested Development voice, she had been hiding it, in fact.
Yeah, I put in my notes, no, you've been hiding it, and you keep telling Connor to keep it secret. I also say when she says, it's a bit of a shock. I mean, nobody's more shocked than me. I'm like, you lying-ass bitch.
You are not shocked, ma'am. You are smug, and I can feel it. It's not good. Lorne shows up and is like, whoa.
I guess he was seeing Faith and Willow off.
Yeah, that was sweet of him.
I love how he's always the one to enter the lobby late. It's like insane things are happening, and then Lorne shows up. It's like, hey guys, what's going? Whoa.
Lorne is the Kramer. He's always walking in like full giddy up, and then getting to be very, very surprised. So,
I was gonna say he's Troy in Community as the apartment's on fire.
Also apt. So Cordelia admits, like, she's like, yeah, I've known basically since we brought Angelus back, which was just a couple weeks ago. And just before you even ask, yes, this is different than when I was Ken Marino bug pregnant.
So yeah, Lauren's like, a mystical pregnancy right under my beak and not even a tingle. Huh? And I'm like, yeah, huh?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, weird, huh? So Fred is like, hey, shouldn't we like figure out what it is? And Connor's like, we know what it is. It's our baby.
He says that. He was also smiling like a creepy Mormon earlier in the scene. No offense to Mormons, but like a creepy Mormon, you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, all offense to creepy Mormons, though.
Yeah, he's like, he's going to try to have sister wives with Cordelia, like.
Oh, no. Gunn congratulates Angel on the grand spawn that he's going to be having.
Connor bitches says, I'm going to have a child and all you can do is joke because you don't like me. No, he's joking because he's uncomfortable. Also, they don't like you because you do unlikable things to them.
And it's like, I honestly thought like this is just a bunch of people being uncomfortable. Like,
yeah,
that's like barely even a joke. Honestly,
yeah.
Like, calm the fuck down. And then Connor just storms off and is like, we shouldn't have told them. And Cordelia decides to now, like, again, this is not my beautiful girl. This is not, like what is happening here? I do not like it, because the Cordelia I know and love would not do that, like, pregnancy superiority thing that some women love to do, where they're like, I have life growing inside of me, and that makes me a holy and natural vessel with understanding of life that you could never even have other people who have not experienced pregnancy. Like, the worst. No, thank you.
That was great.
She says she can sense the baby's goodness. And
yes.
I said, well, I can sense the spooky piano music playing in the background of this scene, man.
All those minor chords. I hear that. Blink, yeah, she says, my sweet baby.
And then she turns her back to everyone, pulls up her shirt, and we see that the baby is wiggling inside her and appears to be all elbows.
Speaking of, before this recording, I banged my elbow into a panhandle because, of course, because the day just keeps getting worse. Literally, I like refilling my drink and I'm walking back to the living room and like the pan that's like in the dish rack, the handle's like hanging out. Bam.
LaToya's no good, very bad day. Do not like it. We cut to titles. We come back to a scene at some kind of like.
Before titles, though, she says, you'll see. My baby will be here soon. Then you'll all see. Those are not the words of goodness.
Everyone be on high alert. No one is on high enough alert. So we go to titles, we come back. We have this scene at this, like, weird corporate art structure.
Yeah, we're outside one Wilshire building.
Yeah, and Gwen is meeting with this guy who's very shifty and nervous.
I recognized him immediately because this actor is David Monahan, who famously played Jack McPhee's like first real boyfriend, Toby, on Dawson's Creek. An out gay actor turned writer. He writes for Ginny and Georgia. He wrote for Life in Pieces. Yeah.
Ooh, hell yeah. Good for him. Good get. So Gwen is saying that she is going to go after some powerful people to get Lisa.
I'm also so happy to see her. I'm like, Alexa Davalos deserves to be special guest star. What are we doing?
Absolutely.
I love her so much. I was so happy to have Gwen in this episode.
As was I. She's in fine form here. She pays the shifty guy. She gets some blueprints and security info in exchange. And then he starts to flirt with her and is promptly struck by lightning.
And then he runs away like a little bitch.
And she's like, thanks a heap. Thanks so much. Like, Gwen is struck by lightning and nobody cares.
It was kind of cute because he was like twitchy, but I was like, oh, that's sweet. And then he runs away like the coward he is. And I love that Gwen, she's going against very powerful people. She says, I know the risk. And I'm like, she's just like Stefan Salvatore.
She is. She reminds me of him in so many ways. Our next scene takes place in the Hyperion lobby. Fred is like, were we too harsh? I'm going to answer you right now, Fred. You were not. You could have been more harsh. Get some answers.
Well, this is the scene where I was like, I'm so happy that Fred fucking hates Connor Cordy. Like, she's disgusted by them.
She is so grossed out by it, and thank Christ. Gunn is like, I don't fucking think so. Like, he even says that Cordelia's got a bun in the oven because he's Rebecca Michelsoning over here. Angel
well, before Angel comes in, Gunn does hell math.
Hell math. So cute. He does a bunch of, he kind of states everything that we've been missing here. It's so adorable. Like, okay, so 2 vampires make a baby, and then that baby fucks Cordy, and now they have a baby?
He says knocks it out with Cordelia. I'm like, bleh.
None of us like it.
Cordy's a part demon, former higher being. So, and that's why he's like, we were not too harsh. Fred does bring up the sanctuary spell, which means Connor has to be at least part demon, even though all the doctors and medical stuff said he was fully human. So, but there's something there.
Yeah, there's something weird here. Mm-hmm. And then they're like, well, shouldn't we be talking to Angel about this? Angel, one day, Team Angel's going to learn about super hearing. He walks out of the office and is like, I heard every fucking word you said, you dweebs. And Angel reveals to them, he's like, I've been thinking about everything that happened, and I want you to know Angelus didn't kill Lila. The Beast did.
Yeah. That really hits Wes. But also, Angel says, I don't give a shit about what Angelus did, meaning he doesn't feel guilty for that. He's like moved past that. He's enlightened. He also knows the risks because he is also Stefan Salvatore.
Absolutely.
A lot of people are knowing the risks in this episode.
A lot of people are knowing the risks, and yeah, he doesn't regret shit, man. Like, Wes is hit very hard by this. Angel kind of like apologizes. He's like, I know it's not my fault, but like, I'm sorry that this happened.
Yeah, Angel finally apologizes to Wesley,
which is really nice. He's like, I'm sorry for your loss. But they decide that there are 2 tasks that need attention right now. The first being figuring out what the fuck is going on with this weird pregnancy. And the second is trying to find out who the Beast's master is. So Lauren is assigned to pound the pavement to figure out who this new player is. Wes and Fred are on pregnancy research. And Gunn is just gonna sit around because it's always good to have some extra muscle around.
Yeah, muscle on deck, Angel says. And Gunn, from what I can see, he doesn't look pleased.
He's just like, okay, what?
Even though he accepts it, he does not. He's like, everyone's getting. He can do research with them.
He can do research. He can do any number. He also has contacts. Like,
yeah. We'll talk more about it. Obviously, yeah.
We will.
Angel says there has to be a reason why the Beastmaster wanted Angelus, and I'm like, I hope we find out. I couldn't tell you. Other than for stalling purposes, I could not tell you.
Wonderful. So then,
but also, like, I will say specifically this episode and the next episode, even though there are good things, and like I enjoyed watching this episode, and like I have a rough shape of what happens next episode. Like, there's such a blur for me in between everything else. Like, I know I can tell you everything that happened before it. I can tell you everything that happened, but after them. But like these specifically 2 episodes, I'm just like, what's happening?
Yeah.
It's like I remember moments. Like I remember Gunn and Gwen. I remember like the Magic 8 Ball with Cordelia, but I couldn't, like, usually I'm like, I don't know what episode that's in.
Right. Okay. Well, I'm glad we'll get you some more clarity as we go forward. In walks Gwen, looking good. She immediately calls Fred babe.
Yes, I love that Fred is still not into her shit because like, immediately they met and she killed Gunn.
There's this new thing where it's like Fred hates bad girls. Like, she's like skeptical of Faith. She doesn't like Gwen. She hated Lila. Like, of this.
Was she really skeptical of Faith? I think she was. I don't know. I think she was fine with it, but then she was like, "Oh shit! If this is what's happening with like, because the Beast, then maybe." Yeah.
I guess I just feel this. There's this annoying, like, innocence they're really hammering home with her in this episode, and I'm gonna talk about it later with a big scene with her and Wes.
Yeah.
That I just think we're kind of infantilizing her again, and it makes me very angry.
Which is interesting, because at the same time, they're also giving her more of an edge, too. And I think that's good, and I think Fred having an edge is actually very useful for, like, the rest of the season, too, what happens. But, yeah, I can see what you mean.
And I also think she also already has an edge. She was like enslaved in another dimension. Like, and she, murdered Seidel. Like, those are all so edgy.
Yeah, the Lilo West stuff is, but I I at least accept the Gwen stuff based. It's not like the way Cordelia hated Gwen.
Jesus.
That came from nothing, just like jealousy, basically.
That came from internalized misogyny.
Yeah.
So Gwen says she needs someone.
As they constantly joke about, Gwen's first interaction with them was to kill Gunn.
Yep. Honestly, that'll turn you against her. So Gwen says she needs someone suave for a job helping a girl, and Angel's like, "Well, I'm kind of busy," and she's like, "No, I want Gunn." Yes.
She's like, "Not you, nerd."
Shut up, dweeb. I would never take Angel to a party as my date if I could take Charles Gunn instead.
It depends on what Angel's energy is at that moment. Like, is he sulking over Cordy? Is he sulking over Buffy?
He's always sulking over something.
Is he sulking over his baby? It depends. There's levels to this.
Sulking over Darla, sulking over Wolfram and Hart, sulking over
he's like sulking over Lindsay. Like, yeah, like Lindsay and Wolfram and Hart. Like, sure, I'll take him. Because like especially if the party has Lindsay and he'll like want to try to one up him.
Yeah, I mean that makes sense. Yeah, if I would take him to a party that Lindsay was at because he wouldn't be able to have any chill.
Making these men fight over me.
Ooh,
okay.
Yes. All right. Okay. All right.
Okay, but also I have in my notes. Imagine the energy if Faith, Gwen, and Fred were all in a room together.
God, I am.
Yes.
I wish. Now the opposite of that, a Connor and Cordy scene. Cordy finds Connor alone in a dark room.
He's being, as I read my notes, emo little bitch boy hiding in the hotel. But also, I realized, I don't know if this was his old baby room, but like there's like his mobile from like from his crib that's there, and his baby clothes are there too. So it might have been like where they moved it after it burned down, like this stuff. It's
so like hanging out with all the baby stuff.
That I had to give him props for that. At least I had to give the show props for that part.
Poor little guy. So
I hate him.
Like, I feel terrible for him in this scene. Like I am like run from her.
There is a reason why
we gotten here.
Yeah, there's a reason why we keep saying if you see something, say something. It's because we want to turn a corner with Connor. We want him to make good decisions.
We
don't want to hate him.
No, not at all. Cordelia like shows up and says, "Don't worry about them." And he's like, "I'm not, but like I'm actually just finally putting some fucking pieces together and things are not adding up." This is where I write in my notes, remember with that whole season I spent tracking how good of a dad Angel was? No more. He's a bad dad. He should have seen something and said something at this point.
To be fair, he was Angelus, and Angelus was seeing something and saying something.
The second that you find out your son is like having a crazy magical pregnancy, you drop whatever dumb shit's going on and you talk to him.
Instead of the skulking to their corners thing, yeah.
Instead of skulking to the corners and like doing a secret plan, I mean, ultimately, but still, it sucks. Bad dad o'clock, Angel.
How do we think if Angel tried to confront Connor though, it would have gone?
I don't know, but I still know that you have to like be like, hey, not even confronting, just being like, if you want someone to talk to, I'm here. Like, this is a lot.
It does seem like Angel's basically, especially after like just the way the season started, is like he will come to me when he finally feels ready to come to me. It just isn't happening, unfortunately, because as Connor's basically saying, he feels like he can't come to anyone because they all hate him. I wonder why they all hate him.
It's because of his attitude and
his behavior,
cranky little bitch face,
his actions. The things he does.
Yeah. Those are all pretty damning.
I don't even know if they all hate him, though. That's the thing.
I don't think they hate him at all. I think they just don't know how to be around him because he's so, like, he's just like an open wound of a person.
Yeah.
Like, and I get that. So the idea that, like, Cordelia is the only person who's nice to him, like, I get why he's being manipulated in this way. It seems like it's very easy. But, like, I don't know.
It's not like they're mean to him, though.
They aren't. They really aren't.
Remember when he and Gunn teamed up together?
They seemed like they were buddies. I know, that's why I thought he was so upset by Gunn making a joke, because he's like, that's my one friend.
Remember when Lorne always tries to be nice to him and he's like, ew, demon? Mm-hmm. And I'm like, no, that's your Uncle Lorne.
It's your Uncle Lorne. He changed your diapers. So, like, Connor's like, Willow's magic did put the soul back, and you were, like, telling me it was dangerous, and you ordered me to go kill my dad for nothing.
You told me to kick his ass.
Yeah, you said Willow said kick his ass.
You pulled a Xander Harris on me.
Yeah, which is warning one. So Cordelia's like, you know, babe, everything happens for a reason. You were there when I needed you. Now I know I can trust you. That's the point of all of this.
Yeah, she's like, all of those moments and million others led to this miracle. And I'm like, no, it sounds like it's something that shouldn't have happened is happening, and it's only doing it because of the amount of manipulation on Cordy's end.
Yeah, like, this is very clearly like a hard-won victory of some kind of plan that she has. And this poor boy just can't figure it out because he's too dumb and alone and isolated. How are you making me on Connor's side against Cordelia? I hate this season.
She said, what's important is that when I needed help, you were there for me. Now I can trust you completely, no matter what. And I'm like, yeah, now she knows he's her little bitch boy.
Yeah.
Even when he's having reservations, like, she can just make shit up and he'll be like, okay, mommy. And now she's like, yeah, I'm gonna ask you to do some things for us. And want you to remember there's always reasons. So basically, she's gonna get him to do more terrible shit. Even more terrible shit.
Yeah, see something. Say something.
And then she's menacingly folding his baby clothes.
I don't like it. I don't like it.
Hey, Morgan, do you like it?
I'm thinking about it because I want to answer this thoughtfully and honestly. Do I like it? Do I, Morgan Lutich, like what is happening now? I don't like it. I don't like it.
Good to know.
So our next scene is with Gunn and Gwen.
Over at Gwen's cool place.
Hell yeah, Gwen did make it to Tahiti, by the way, which means she saw Nick. Hello.
Auga.
And then she talks about how she like gets these little jade souvenirs everywhere she travels, and she's like, "What do you get when you travel, Gunn?" And he's like, injuries from places around the greater Los Angeles area.
Yeah, he gets scars, baby.
Which, I mean, hot. And she's like, sorry, I'm a rich asshole. And he's like, hey, you know, maybe I'll travel some other time. So what does Gwen need Gunn's very suave assistance for?
The plot of Rush Hour.
Yeah, Rush Hour. I also thought of Rush Hour. Damn it, our brains are terrible.
I wish this little girl would have been singing Fantasy before Gunn kidnapped her. One brain cell.
So Gwen's story is that she did some corporate espionage, and the losing side retaliated against the winning side by kidnapping Gwen's client's daughter. And now they can't go to the cops because all of this is like a reaction to other illegal activity. So Takashi Morimoto will kill this little girl if the his enemies don't admit to this corporate theft.
And Gunn says, this dude's a major player. That's kind of the title.
Yeah.
That's part of why I don't like remember this episode so much. I'm like, players, what could that be? That could be literally anything. That I feel like every other episode in season 5 could be called Players.
It's a new girl ass vague title. So Gunn is like smiling and grinning, and she's like, why are you so happy about this? And he is just stoked for a departure from this, quote, turgid supernatural soap opera he's been stuck in. And he wants to do good.
So Gunn watches the show Angel, a TV show.
And he's fucking sick of it, just like we are. And I love him.
He's like, it's been barely a month and all of this has happened.
I'm so tired, he says. And I say, me too, baby.
Really excited to talk about a lot of Gunn stuff and just the WB and we're going to get into that later in this episode.
Absolutely. Hell yes. So he says, what's the plan? And the plan is we walk right in the front door. Cut to the mansion. Gunn is in a suit, baby.
Charles Gunn getting his James Bond on. This is much better than if she had said, it's easy, be invisible.
He is looking so good, so hot. I love this. Gwen is in this like gorgeous red silk kimono thing.
Yeah, it is awesome. Also, Gwen, this episode is like, she proves that she's actually number one in the Gunn Squad. Like, seriously. She is us.
Besides the whole tricking him part, yes.
I mean, would I trick Charles Gunn to spend time with me? Maybe.
Yeah, I mean, I absolutely would.
I have to go save someone. I need your help.
Please. So Gunn and Gwen go through these, like, this heavy security, these, like, intense metal detectors and, like, heat signature detectors. And they're like, yeah, we did it. We nailed it. But then at the last minute, their digital invitation does a bad beep and everybody looks in.
So I love that the tickets get fucked because the fact she got struck by lightning earlier in the episode. She told us before she's been struck by lightning a bajillion times. It just happens. Fucking yesterday, the thunderstorm, she would have gotten struck by lightning.
Gwen, take care of yourself, please. So we cut to commercial, we come back. Gunn's like, okay, maybe tonight's not our night. And she's like, no, we're making it our fucking night.
She's about to kill everyone.
Yeah. Gunn sees Morimoto and is like, oh, hey. And he goes and he says hello in Japanese. And then Morimoto tries to talk back to him and he's like, that was all I knew. I'm sorry. But I am so glad to see you again. You know, we met at this zoo benefit, and he does very good rich people schmoozing. And
based on the intel that Gwen gave him earlier, basically.
Yeah, he does smart spycraft shit. And he gives Morimoto a gift, which happens to be our girl's jade tiger, because he has a penchant for tigers. And
he stole from the thief.
So cute, so hot. Gwen is annoyed, but it fucking works. And Morimoto's like, oh yeah, of course. Thank you so much. Welcome. Like, come on in. Ha. Fucking .1 for Charles Gunn. The best in the biz, baby.
Well, here's the thing about it. It's like, this is good, and I like it. All of our Angel Investigations boys, I'm not counting Connor, of course, they could have done this. Like Wesley and Angel probably would have had more language skills. But the problem is, in general, is that they act like Gunn is not one who could do this. Like, he's just the muscle. Yeah,
he has lots of skills and is an incredibly valuable asset to this team, which the team should try remembering every once in a while. So then our next scene is Wes and Fred. We're researching. We're looking at spooky baby pictures.
Oh, yeah. This is the scene where Fred is so disgusted by Connor and Cordy.
Which I love, but it's tied to this morality thing, which I hate. So
it becomes tied to this morality thing because,
So Fred is like, ew, 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 ew.
Yeah, I hate that we have to have Wes relating to them because of his relationship with Lila. Like, we don't have to do that.
So, yeah. So, like, I write in my notes, bitch, me too. Welcome to my fucking life, Fred. And then Wes is like, well, we all make sex mistakes. I think it's best that we all be chill and forgiving.
But it's not even making sex mistakes. It's because he's not even calling a mistake. But I do think he is wrong in saying it's because of being lost and lonely. And he says, when you're alienated from the people who care about you, you start to look other places. Here's the thing. Well, that can apply to Connor. Mm-hmm. That's not actually what happened with Cordy. No, Cordy isolated herself, and also then she became a fucking groomer.
Yeah, and it's also just, I write in my notes, how dare we compare Wes and Lila, something so cool, something so sexy, something so awesome.
No manipulation involved. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was two adults entering a mutually beneficial relationship. I do write in my notes, I don't even know what line is for, but I just write, he's such a little freak, LOL.
He is.
It's because he's just being so weird in this scene. Don't talk to people like this.
He's so fucking self-loathing. And he mentions that, like, he and Lila were both fighting in the same war, and they're both victims of the same war. And I do really like that conception of it, but I just hate this comparison.
Because it's part of why his relationship with Virginia back in the day didn't work. It's like, technically, yeah, they know the same world, but they're not like, she's just like a rich girl, like witch, basically. Yeah. She's a socialite. She's not like in the good fight the way they are. Even if she was on the other side, at least that was something that could connect them. They're in the fight, and then they, then they clock out when it's time to be together.
Yeah, and they have both experienced what it is to have this fight take things from you.
It's like Cole and Phoebe on Charmed.
It absolutely is like Cole and Phoebe on Charmed. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. And I hate so much that like Wes has to explain hate sex to Fred as if she could never understand it.
That's where it is, because it's like, but you hated her, didn't you? And then he says,
it's not always about holding hands. And I'm like, fuck you. Like we're implying
the bright side to the scene, like Fred not gonna want to fuck this guy after this.
Not if she has any self-respect. Like, no, that's not fair. I just think, like, I could not.
I think she just is. They're just not on the same page. They've never been on the same page from when he was not in the game to now, really. Yes, they made out, but like.
I was about to say I would never fuck someone who is this condescending to me, but negging does work. So that's an absolute
lie.
Yeah, I don't want to lie to you, good Scoobies.
You went to USC.
I did. Yeah, I've hooked up with many a condescending man. But I just like... That's not a lasting thing. Like the way he views her is like, oh, I have to teach you about like how sometimes adults fuck. I'm like, what the fuck?
It's both what Angelus was saying about them, but also, you know what that is? That's what Wes was saying in fucking Billy.
Ugh. It's just gross. Like I just don't like it. I mean, I can sense. I've seen a TV show before. I know.
Really?
I've seen like upwards of 3. And I can tell they are priming me for Wes and Fred. I can tell they are like, this is what is next. I can see the big blinking neon arrow. But I don't like it. And I wish I did. Like, I would like to be on board because I like liking things. And I just don't like it in this iteration.
And you
right
like
now.
Fred and you like Wes.
I don't understand why we're having to like make Fred this like little innocent ingenue for this to work.
Yeah.
It feels weird.
Because my thing is, I was an anti-Wes Fred as you know, when I was watching the originally, but I did really like Fred Gunn. Yeah. So like I don't make me, I can like all of my friends, can't I?
Yeah, it seems like we have to villainize and like overly moralize different people to make these like contortions and different narrative shapes make sense instead of just everyone being authentically themselves and things getting messy and not working out and making more sense in one direction or the other. That's just not the nuance is not there. This all feels very reverse engineered, and I just don't care for it. And I really don't care for it the most in what it's doing to Fred. It's a bummer. So then at the party, Gunn reveals that he knows what he knows of the Japanese language and Japanese cultures from samurai movies, which I love him. Good boy.
It's like me knowing little Japanese because of Japanese wrestling.
Absolutely. And
especially like Baka. He's idiot.
Aw, I love that. Gwen stole the tiger back. She's like, I'm not fucking letting him have shit.
It's 18th century Jade, yeah.
I mean, yeah, fair. But we then see our little girl, our little Lisa comes out. She's her little hair half up. It's so cute. She's in a full little dress, and she's surrounded by a bunch of guards, and she's eating a snack. And we're like, all right, there's the target. And I'm like, the target's cute. So then,
just like in Rush Hour.
I wish she would have sung Fantasy. That would have been really good for me.
We know the show was like, it was spending money. Come on. Maybe not on the visual effects at this point, but like they could have spent money on Fantasy.
Look, you did Gangster's Paradise last year. Do Fantasy this year. So
I was gonna say, did Viva Las Vegas? Did that take the budget this year?
That might have. Yeah, the Vegas trip probably did take a lot of money away, and all of that those angel flashbacks on the back lot, I imagine, also took a lot of money away. So we are.
I'm sorry. How over budget do you think Joss was all the time on this show specifically, not Buffy? This one.
I mean, I would say
this show was like
on both super over budget all the time. Like that, especially like even that. Isn't that what people have said? Like behind the scenes,
like season 5 of Buffy, I could see being very over budget. Season 5 looks spectacular.
I know, like, didn't like people in production call it like Buffy the Weekend Killer because they were always stuck like building sets and shit like longer than was maybe scheduled and normal. Yeah. Just a reminder, we gotta pay our film crews, everybody, and give them good compensation and normal hours.
Yeah. We were just talking in the room about crew members. Like we couldn't even imagine doing their jobs. Like it's such fucking long hours.
Yeah, having just done my first set, the hours are absolutely wild and made me go slightly insane. So
you guys have heard insane set life Morgan on the podcast.
If you recall the episode where I was very sleepy on mic, that was thanks to my set hours. Our next scene takes place in Angel's room. Angel says he's creeped out.
Well, before that, she doesn't even knock, but he's like, "Come on in, Cordelia." I know she's not well, but like that's them. I love that.
It is because she's like, "Oh, that always creeps me out," and he's like, "Well, I'm pretty creeped out myself, Cordelia." And Cordelia's like, "Can we not? I'm just so tired from creating life."
Ugh. And it just stops everything I love about them immediately.
It's like, okay, that glimpse of it was gone. So Angel's like, I know that like the Beast's master is the real brains of the situation. And Cordelia's
because
like,
the Beast was fucking Baka.
Absolutely fucking Baka. And Cordelia's like, okay, so I'm the Beast's master. And I'm like, I know you are, but what am I? And she's like, and I do this, this, and this. And I'm like, I see what we're doing.
It's a thing Cordelia would have done in the previous seasons.
Absolutely. And Angel is like, well, like in my opinion, this master is deluded and demented. And he makes fun of the "you shall not pass" voice, and Cordelia is not happy.
He's basically giving back to her what she did to him when she like goaded him into being Angelus. It's like, well, Angelus is smart, unlike you.
Exactly. So these two, only one play in the mutual playbook.
This is why they're perfect for each other.
It is. So Cordelia's like, well, she doesn't really like that, especially when Angel says that the Beast's master is just making it up as he goes along. She really resents the fuck out of that.
That's what I wrote in my notes. He's Joss.
Yeah. Oh God! I'm gonna lay down on the ground now.
You know when the Beastmaster is like, "Oh no, my star is pregnant. I gotta make shit up. I gotta also get revenge on them for that.
I must be awful in some way." Then at the party, the awful rich people at the party think it's a very exciting time to be in Los Angeles.
I love this. I love this scene so much.
So fucking funny.
Morimoto thinks something wonderful is coming because of this, and I'm like, what? Gunn's like, no.
Gunn's like, I don't know if it's an exciting time so much as a bad one.
I don't know if I should say this because maybe it should be canceled, but it's very Susan Sarandon saying that Trump being elected will bring forth revolution.
Yeah,
it's very that.
It's very this is such a great time for comedy. Like when Trump was elected. Yeah,
it's not though.
It's not. So Gwen literally taps Gunn on the shoulder, and Gunn turns around, turns his back to these people, and they have an entire conversation about their secret mission, which made me laugh hysterically.
Where's this? Like, give us a fucking Gunn Gwen spinoff, honestly. I'm G&G.
These dummies. This is not good spycraft, my baby.
Is there a way for me to pull 50 Shades of Grey doing Twilight fan fiction with these two characters and make it a spinoff and then just change the names?
Yes.
And then profit?
Yes. The final step is profit, yes.
Me just writing a spec Angel script that is a Gunn and Gwen thing and then changing the names and here's a pilot.
Done. Look.
I think I should do it, actually.
You should. please do. So they're like, okay.
Don't tell anyone. If I do it, don't tell anyone, people listening.
Everyone be cool. We'll mail the idea to yourself, LaToya.
Okay, we'll be good.
then the WGA is on your side. So, like, Gwen has overheard they're going to kill the girl tonight. Oh, no. And Gwen's like, I'll do a distraction, and Gunn, you'll go get the girl. And then fucking Gwen rats him out. Boo tomato. Boo
It's pretty
tomato.
funny, though. First of all, she's like, I'm going to create one hell of a distraction. She knocks over a table full of dishes.
Yeah. Ooh, look at me. I'm doing something. And then Gwen grabs...
It's real spy versus spy bullshit.
It is, but I love the image of Gunn grabbing this tiny child under his arm and taking off.
And then this wealthy white lady says, oh my God, someone's trying to hurt that little girl.
Great
See, I
stuff.
could never be mad at Gwen, honestly.
I know you can't. I'm going to have to do it for you in this instance because...
You can't do it. She's perfect.
I know.
She's never done anything wrong.
I know it's hard to be mad at hot people, but I have to do it for Charles Gunn. So Gunn takes...
Even he's not mad.
Ultimately not mad. He's mad for a little bit. Gunn takes the little
very
girl
little.
to the back room, and then he's hit over the head. Commercial will come back. Gunn comes to. It's fight o'clock. This fight rules.
It's so good.
It's so fun. So he has to fight all these dudes with like big staffs, and he fights. He takes one of the staffs away.
Yeah,
He's
also-
using it.
For being the muscle, he's actually excited to get to do a fight.
Yes. Like a really good fight. And he's also just like, I've been fucking fighting monsters for weeks. Like, this is cake. Like, I love this.
Fighting monsters and getting his ass kicked, because they're all been getting their ass kicked. Like, fucking Wesley is still fucked up from Angelus.
Mm-hmm. So he's like, this is way easier than the Beast. He even flips this guy over his back and straightens his tie as the guy is flying through the air behind him. This is a suave man. This is the hero we deserve. I fucking love him.
We'll get him when I do my original pilot that is not based on anything.
Charlie Revolver over here.
Charlie Revolver.
Charlie Revolver.
But Charlie Revolver and Gwen Reptile. I'm like, what's another Mortal Kombat character?
Perfect. So then this girl reveals that she is not kidnapped. She is in her own home, and her dad is going to
This little brat. I love her.
I love her. I have no notes for her. She's never done anything wrong in her life. Then cut to a room with a safe. Gwen is doing some sexy safe cracking. Who is she? Jake Johnson in Stumptown? Come on. I love it. So
Why would you bring it up? Make me cry.
It was so hot when he cracked that safe. So Gwen only
Remember
wanted
when
Gunn
his girlfriend decided to gaslight Dex?
Changed my life.
Yeah, we fucked.
Absolutely bananas. Absolutely bananas.
But also it was great and no notes.
No, I have no notes for anything that happened on Stumptown. So Gwen only wanted Gunn for his heartbeat to go through the scanners and appear normal because Angel wouldn't have. Gunn is very
because
disappointed.
Wesley's vibes are fucked.
Yeah, obviously. I can't take him to a party anywhere. He's such a fucking bummer these days.
He'll start going on about the trolley problem.
Absolutely. He does have trolley problem madness. So Gwen is like, but you're having so much fun, though. And Gunn is like, I was having fun because I thought I was doing good. And she's like, you are doing good.
I mean, he actually is, and I'm glad it's not like going to the military or whatever.
Oh, yeah, thank God. So it turns out Lisa is not a little girl. It's LISA, a acronym for a weapon. It's a military technology thing that we're stealing.
Did you have any memory of this at all? Because like the whole time I'm like, this and the Lorne plot, I'm just like, you're doing a little trick. Did you have any memory for any of this episode?
I knew they were gonna fuck, so I was like, "Oh, is that gonna like fix her?" So that's
yes,
I put it together.
We've talked extensively about how this is when they fuck.
We have spoken about how they're fucking here. So Gunn is like, you know what? Actually, I'm gonna get the fuck out of here. And Gwen's like, no, come on, stay. you can keep the suit.
I love that he was so excited about his like fresh new suit, as though he had bought it himself. It's like, no, this very wealthy woman did.
Yeah, and
so of course he's gonna stay.
But it does look good, and it's like also like, what was she gonna take the suit? Like, what was she gonna do with the suit?
Right. Also, he should have negotiated and gotten like a full wardrobe out of it.
Yeah, like another, at least another suit. Yeah, and it's like maybe a new jacket. Like, come on, Gunn, you know your worth. So then. At the Hyperion offices, Wes and Fred are bringing back Starbucks.
I know everything is bad vibes, but I loved having the gang together in the scene. I love people just hanging out in Angel's office while he's trying to do his shit.
This I liked way more than their solo scene together, and I enjoyed their dynamic in it too.
Yeah, even though Cordy is clearly fishing, it's like it still feels right.
It's felt more right than many things have felt in a long time. Yes, I do agree.
Although I will also say, despite Cordy, revealing her baby bump, the bun in her oven in the first scene, it was like, I was realizing the gang is like technically officially back together, basically, with this episode, right? Like,
yeah, I mean,
I'm pretty sure. Yeah, the gang is back together. Everyone's going through it.
Yes,
we are like in true apocalypse end times. The sun was fucking gone.
Yeah,
like it's not a good time to be alive.
Much like today. Yeah.
As a podcast network, our focus is bringing you shows you love to listen to. But we also sell merch related to those shows. And partnering with Shopify has made that both possible and simple for us to do. Shopify is the global commerce platform that helps you sell at every stage of your business. Whether you're selling scented soap or offering outdoor adventures, Shopify helps you sell everywhere because they've got you covered from their all-in-one e-commerce platform to their in-person POS system. What's so fantastic about Shopify is how, no matter how big you want to grow, they provide everything you need to get control of your business so you can take it to the next level. Businesses that grow, grow with Shopify. Sign up for a $1 per month trial period at shopify.com/realm. That's all lowercase. Go to shopify.com/realm now to grow your business, no matter what stage you're in. Shopify.com/realm.
With your long-forgotten name, we call upon you. We call upon you. In the words of the unspeakable language, we call upon you. We call upon you. By the spilt blood of the wicked, who walk upon this world, sprouting the words of false idols, we call upon you. We call upon you. On the land of the dead harvest, that which brings the earth itself into your service, Yamal, we call upon you. We call upon you. We call upon you. We call upon you.
Yamal calls upon you.
The Sprouting, a Call of Cthulhu actual play podcast by Blighthouse Studio. Find us on your podcatcher of choice.
It's pretty clear to everyone by now that social media has changed everything from the way we live to how we discuss politics and what we think we know about the world around us. Which begs the question, who's in charge here? Hi, I'm Jon Favreau, former Obama speechwriter turned chronically online host of Offline with Jon Favreau. Join me every week just outside your social media-fueled echo chamber for a smarter, lighter conversation about the real-time changes and real-world effects of social media and the internet on all of our lives. Check out Offline with Jon Favreau every Sunday wherever you get your podcasts.
Angel reveals that he is beautiful minding the destroyed book. And Cordelia's like, you're what now?
Which is, he reminds us that it's something he can do, which if you don't know he's doing a little plan, it's like, it really feels like vintage Angel, like trying to impress Cordy, because,
wink,
but it's also like, remember I could do this, you bitch.
Yeah. So Cordy then makes this move, like she's gonna spill coffee on the translation, and then it is not an accurate translation. It's actually really hard to remember this dead language correctly.
Is this a rule of threes thing with the trying to kill Willow, not doing it, trying to spill the coffee, not doing it, and then also trying to kill Lauren, not being able to do it because they all catch her? Is this a rule of threes thing?
It does feel rule of threes-esque.
I'm not forgetting anything else where she almost does something and she doesn't, right?
I don't think so. She didn't. She was gonna almost fuck Connor and get pregnant, and then she did. So. So that one doesn't count. And Angel's like, no worries, we try again. Back in the safe room, we get the Lisa.
Oh, I'm so sorry to do this again to go back, but I was going to say, when he says about his beautiful mind, just a little thing I can do. It's like when he's telling Cordelia back in the good times, he's like, when he gets her something, he's like, well, I'm a champion. He's like very,
yeah.
He wants to impress her.
Yeah, he's showing off. It did.
But that's not what's happening. He's doing a plan.
No, this is a plan. So then in the safe room, we get Lisa, and Gwen's like, so I think the best thing for us to do is split up. And Gunn is like, absolutely fucking not. Then
fucking Scooby-Doo ass.
Morimoto and his guys show up, and oh no, he's all lost.
No, because it's fuck what's time, baby.
Woo!
Fuck watch.
Who are you fucking?
Who am I fucking? Huh. Since all we do now is cheat on this podcast, obviously the timing doesn't work out because there was multiple scenes before we got to the Gwen scene, really. But I like to pretend that as Gwen was showing up at the Hyperion, Faith was just outside, of course, with Willow. And then Faith and Gwen, they crossed paths.
Right.
And they're like, I like the cut of your jib, I like the cut of your jib. And then I fucked them both.
Okay, I love it. That is, I'll take it. I'll allow it. I love it. Mine's Charles Gunn. He's in a new suit. He's looking fucking good. And he is just realizing...
Have you not chosen Charles Gunn?
I haven't. I checked. And I am I knew I was saving it for the right fucking time. And I am picking it now. He is just realizing how underappreciated he is. He is on the rebound. And I am here, baby.
Check that tux. Check that bod. Sign me up for the Gunn Squad. Did someone say Golden God? I'm all in on the Gunn Squad. Game boy playing, Himbo King. Sign me up for the Gunn Squad. Even when he's curmudgeoning, I'm all in on the Gunn Squad. Bang, bang. You know Charles gonna shoot his shot. Bang, bang. Cracking skulls up and down the block. Bang, bang. Got a smile that make the panties drop. Bang, bang. Gunn Squad, Gunn Squad.
Happy fuck watch.
Happy fuck watch to you.
Cha, cha, cha. Then back in the Hyperion office, Angel's next try is also bad. Lauren shows up and he got directions for a ritual to get his powers back, like in tune.
Yeah, he's like, I have joyous news. Angel's like, about the baby. And Cordy's about El Jefe because she's like, is it about me? Priorities. Cordy, you should also want to know about your baby.
Yeah. Lauren's like, no, it's about me, bitches. And I'm like, yeah, hell yeah, king. He says, I'm going to be all normal by sunrise. On Cordy, looking shady as fuck.
She is very worried about him becoming empathic again. So I don't even know if it was Cordy so much that did whatever is happening with Lauren, or it was Wolfman Hart sucking his brain of beast info. It was that, right?
I think it might have just been that. Yeah. Like maybe or maybe like a little of column A, a little of column B. Like.
But also as the Beastmaster with her summoning the beast, Wolfman Hart then does that, so that works in her favor.
Yeah. She's so conniving. She's so shady. Then in the safe room, Gwen's like, I won't leave without this shit. It is fucking mine. And she screams and they pull out guns and it's like, this is not looking good. And so she just zaps the fuck out of everyone and screams.
Everyone but Gunn, which thank God. And then the effects are hilarious. I'm sorry.
Zoot, 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 zoot. It looks like in the Spider-Man video game, you can get electric webs and you can web henchmen together and then hit the electric web button and they'll all be stuck together and going dead. It was just fully that, and I loved it.
So in the Spider-Man video game, Spider-Man murders.
Oh, only the crooks. They're non-lethal zaps. Then Gunn puts it all together. He's like, you're stealing Lisa for yourself to fix your, powers, right? And she's like, yeah. Then at a dark, spooky location.
Okay. Yes, because previously Lauren's like, I have a cloak, I have to do a whole song and dance, and it has to be, this ritual has to be performed solo. And I'm like, oh yeah, at least he knows at this point. Mm-hmm. And he says, just me and my shadow secluded in a dark, dusty nowhere land. I'm like, LOL.
Hello, I'm bait. So it appears to be ritual o'clock. Cordy has got a knife, and she's a creepin'.
Also, Lord's doing such a bit of business. He walks in and he's like, fudgicle. I'm like, you're doing this for your audience.
Little community theater for you. Then at Gwen's place, Gunn and Gwen are back and they're safe. Gunn is self-deprecating again about just being the muscle. And Gwen points out, hey, 1, being the muscle is hot. 2, you're way more than that.
Yeah. She's like, being the muscle makes girls all go all knocky in the knees. Obviously, look at us. And then I'm like, she's part of the Gunn Squad. We know it. And he's like, if you were just the muscle, we couldn't have gotten in the party. Because, think about it. Think about muscle in these shows. If it were Gru, he couldn't have done it. No offense. He has charms and emotional intelligence. He would have been fucked.
Yeah, he has no real world experience.
Riley couldn't have done it unless he flashed a badge because he was more military than he was ever James Bond.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Spike would pick a fight with someone.
He wouldn't try. Like I said, Angel and Wes could have done it, but still.
Even Angel would have been so annoying the whole time, being like, I hate this. I hate being at a party.
Well, Angel couldn't have gotten through the security system, as we know.
Yeah.
But Wes, again, Wes would have been a little weirdo.
The whole fucking time.
Yeah. So she thanks him for his brains over brawn. He's like, it's just too many movies.
Stop.
And that's where she brings up the man, they've done a number on you. And I'm like, yeah, she's right. This man was a leader.
Man, they have done a number on you. You really believe this I'm the muscle crap?
This your version of a pep talk?
Could be. Need one?
Yeah.
Good. Not my area of expertise. So why do you stay? If that's all they see in you.
I'm a fighter. Born and raised.
I'm sorry, but fuck Team Angel. Fuck them for making him feel this way.
Honestly, fuck Angel specifically.
Yeah.
As much as we are Team Angel specifically in this episode, that's the one where he is not. For all the things he noted he saw when he was Angelus, come on, you gotta adjust your strategy with Gunn, man.
He's such a bad boss. He's so bad at utilizing them as members of the team, and he's constantly showing favoritism towards Wes and ignoring when Wes does shitty stuff and
if he feels guilty about the West stuff, that does make sense though. After, father will kill the son and the throat slicing and I'm gonna kill you, Wyndham Price and all that.
I don't care.
As if he never really fully apologized to him to that.
Yeah, but it's just Gunn took care of his son while he was at the bottom of the ocean. He deserves some thank yous and some shit for that.
Yeah.
He's never prioritized as a member of the team. Never noticed for his skills. And I just feel Angel and Gunn used to have a kinship and an understanding. There was always a little bit of loggerheads between the two of them and friction because at the end of the day, Angel is a vampire and Gunn grew up fighting vampires and hating vampires. But they did kind of get to a place where things were better with them, playing the tiny hockey and things like that. I just think we've completely abandoned any connection between Gunn and essentially everyone on the team now, because now he's broken up with Fred, he's fighting with Wes, and there's all this bad blood there, and Angel doesn't notice him anymore, and Cordy is off doing something else. I hate how isolated he's become and how shitty. The fact that it is all taking a toll on him and that he feels bad about himself makes me so mad.
Yeah, it really is. him like just buying into the muscle stuff. It was, like I felt like, because I have been rewatching Happy Endings, it really feels like it's like the hangout sitcom joke where it's like the one black character is like, oh, I need more black friends because God needs it. He needs his old crew back or like something like that. He needs some kind of connection. You just
something of his own.
Yeah, he really does. And when he tries to like say, just watch a lot of movies, I will say he's just counting himself, but it's like the movie thing is something that's always been a part of his character. And it's just like, it's very much, I've never been able to leave this place.
Yeah.
But through movies, I'm able to escape. It's like, it's with books or TV.
Yeah.
So to discount his intelligence, him doing that specifically, it's like, no, he is cultured and has a bigger worldview because of the movies he's watched, along with being part of the team.
Yeah.
Even though they are trying to make him more insular.
I fully agree. And
yeah,
this just like all bummed me out so fucking hard. And he's like, okay, Gwen, what about you? And then Gwen breaks out the F word.
No. I was like, I had to cover my ears.
She's a freak.
Canceled.
Yeah, bleep it. She says, but being a thief makes her feel like a part of something and not. But she loved it tonight. This, she's like, this thing that like we're holding, like, could maybe let me like hold someone's hand.
Yeah, she's like, I won't be normal, but I can hold someone's hand. And
screaming, crying, dying.
I want to talk more about Gunn.
Please.
Sorry, freak. Oh, no, I'm canceled too.
Canceled.
So my whole thing is that, yes, we are frustrated with the Gunn stuff, and like, I like the fact that this episode acknowledges it it's one of those things where it's like, you're acknowledging it, but what are you going to do?
Yeah.
It's like one of my favorite jokes in Psych is when Sean says to Gus, don't be the only black lead in a cable drama, because Julie Hill literally was the only black lead in a cable drama at the time. Because
God,
it's at least when they acknowledge it there, it's like, you guys are doing it right.
Yeah.
Whereas here we're like, ah. But it's like, I'll give because I'm taking the WB to task right now. Yeah. I'll give the WB credit for like Gunn and J. Oxford even being like a series regular. As we know, the WB could be like hit or miss about this kind of stuff. Like in terms of series regulars, we had Tangi Miller as Elena on Felicity, and she was interesting because she was actually allowed to have black friends, and like she like her end relationship was with Donald Faison's character, and like I always loved her, and like I loved her friendship with Noel, which I think part of the reason I even like Noel in general is because I'm like, I kind of ship him with Elena.
Yeah, they always kind of had a vibe, and like,
but also, do you know Elena's like the character Elena's full name?
What is it again?
You're gonna
Gilbert?
Cry laughing. Elena Tyler.
Best friends. But also I feel like and my Felicity knowledge is rusty, so forgive me if I'm wrong here, but I felt like Elena was like always being deeply mistreated on that show and like discounted constantly.
Yes, it started off well, and then she was discounted, and then remember, they then in the end, final season, killed her. Yes, they brought her back via time travel and it ended up sticking.
Great.
But still, they did that.
Not good.
But going off of non-series regulars on the WB, of course, you had Bianca Lawson as the black girl of the era. She would get her arcs on, of course, Buffy, Dawson's Creek. And she would have been a regular on Fearless, the Rachel Lee Cook pilot. But that also would have been with, again, Rachel Lee Cook, white. Ian Somerhalder. Is he white? Yeah, he's white, right?
Yeah, right?
Yeah, yeah. Eric Balfour, also white. Yeah. And then we've talked extensively about the Kendra stuff on Buffy. So
and, I guess Daryl from Charmed, right?
I'm going to bring up Daryl. Just you wait. But still with Bianca, also Dawson's Creek. She had a 4-episode arc in season 3, and I would argue that her character Nikki, other than like Michelle Williams' Jen, like in the college seasons, was the only person I was actually interested in seeing Dawson date. But her character and Dawson specifically never dated. Like the way the arc ended, like she's pushed out because like her father, who's like the new principal, is like pushed out because of the racism of the town. It's like, and it was like between that episode and the one she was in before, it was like there was 3 episodes, which made me feel like there was network blowback because her and Dawson's relationship was very kind of like enemies or rivals to lovers.
Ooh, okay.
And then suddenly it just was not, they weren't interacting at all.
Well, that sucks.
Yeah, so I'm just like, and then we, of course, Charm had Daryl, who, pretty man.
Beautiful.
Not a whole lot else going on.
But every time I see him, I'm just like, hi, Daryl, I'm safe and I'm happy and you're here.
They, for the most part, gave him a happy life, but there was like an arc in the series, like, there was a part, like a season or two where like he just wasn't around, or wasn't, they're like, Daryl's just off screen.
No. Always here. Every time I'm like, why doesn't someone like try to fuck Daryl? And then Daryl is always like, I have a wife. And I'm like, oh, right. God, she must be so hot.
And she was.
I have yet in my rewatch to see Daryl's hot wife, and I just can't wait.
I think you have to like wait till like season like 5 or 6.
Fuck that shit.
But yeah, and then Seventh Heaven also then at one point had the black family to parallel the Camdens. But like, did that show do anything to help race or religion?
Not that I know of.
And my other WWE example is Popular, included Sam's new boyfriend, George. He was black in season 2, who, by the way, he shows up in the Charmed season 3 premiere, that actor, like right before he did Popular.
Good for him.
Yeah. But like, he was basically the most Riley Finn of all characters. He was probably even more Riley Finn than Riley Finn in Popular.
Ow. So what?
And one more, sorry, but yeah. Oh, and also in terms of black people on Popular, there's also Wentworth Miller, but Wentworth Miller has a career of passing. We all know this. He is aware of this, right. Yeah. But it's just, so Gunn is technically a great representation. He's like the best we got on the WB, and I love Gunn. We love Gunn. We all love Gunn.
Yes, none of this is saying anything against Gunn. No.
It's just like, compare and contrast. Gunn is definitely like on a mountaintop compared to what WB had done with these characters and actors, if they even if they were black at all, So, and this story, as much as I love Gunn and Gwen, it's one of the safe stories because specifically it is a black man and a white woman, because you're rarely, if ever, going to see a black woman and a white man, and if you do. It's usually going to be like Taboo or something. There's a whole fucking movie starring Sanaa Lathan about this called Something New. It's a good movie, but still.
Well, I always support Sanaa Lathan.
Exactly. It's just I wanted to talk about this. It's
of course.
I'm frustrated with things, obviously, that's happening in the show, but also how much of this is based on what the WB's MO in general was.
No, and it's helpful to hear because obviously this has been so frustrating and we're talking about it through like a 2022 lens, and it was obviously still frustrating then, but in terms of like the context, the idea that what they were doing with Gunn was amongst the better stuff going on in this network, like also, that is important for us to know.
Let me share this screen cap from a Dawson's Creek episode and tell me they weren't at least, because this is when Berlanti was running the show, so tell me he wasn't trying to ship them.
Look, Bianca. I ship Bianca Lawson with anyone she wants.
Bianca and her braids.
She's so...
Dawson was shook.
Fucking gorgeous. I hate everything. But I mean, I'm glad. Then I think it is important to like celebrate the fact that like Gunn got to be like as authentically like here and black as he did get to be, even though I still just long for so much more with him all the time. Again, like our first impressions episode where he takes Cordy to his neighborhood and like shows his entire community, which felt so like real and lived in and important to me. It just feels like there should be a spinoff about him and his life and his world, which I think is oftentimes inherently like more interesting to me than what's going on with all our stuffy white people.
Well, they all think that something interesting is going to happen to Los Angeles. It's a renaissance.
Oh, yes, it's a great time to be in Los Angeles. There's no sun sometimes.
To be one of the white people who didn't like flee Los Angeles after this, I think this is cool. Actually, no, here's the thing. those people definitely fled. And then the sun came back there, they're like, I was here the whole time.
Those people are all landlords, and you know it.
Love that lady.
Oh, yeah.
She was great. I wanted her just like doing commentary on the whole series. Like just every other episode, just like her being like, well, I thought that the beast was blah, blah, blah. Like just randomly around.
I loved her. I have no notes for her. So we go to Gwen's bedroom, and Gunn like places the device on her back, and it kind of like has all these little wires that burrow into her.
Gunn, let me show you how it works. I just have to take you to my bedroom, and then
I just have to take my
rope
top
in front
off.
of you.
Gwen, you know what you're doing. And I respect it. And he puts the device on her, and then he can touch her. I write in my notes.
Because when he puts it on her lower back, of course, he just barely grazes her and it shocks him. But then when it's working,
he can touch her, baby.
No shocking, baby.
Hell yeah. So Gwen's like, and then she like sits up and she like holds the top of her dress like in front of her boobs. And she's like, thanks for turning me off.
I guess I was gonna make a joke of like, could he just like put it on her neck? But like, it makes sense to put it like on her nervous system.
Yeah, like by her spine. Yeah. And Gunn says this is the most fun he's had since, and I'm like, since Fred?
I don't even think that's the answer.
I don't even know. I'm like, when's the last time you had fun, baby boy? And how can we make it happen again? Well, how we make it happen again is these two are smooching now. And it's sex time.
It's loss of virginity time is what it is.
Yeah, dang. Good for you, Gwen. Virginity is a social construct, but like, if you have to lose it, you should do it with Charles Gunn. That's what I believe. I'm gonna put that on a pillow.
Please.
Then at the spooky place, Lorne.
Yeah, back to Lorne's BS ritual, as I have in my notes.
Lorne's singing his spell. Cordelia's creeping.
Oh, yeah. I didn't get... What did you think about, like, this? Did you realize it was BS at any point?
I can't remember. I just liked that the spell was a song. I was like, yeah, baby.
The spell is the score that was playing right before he starts singing it.
I really, really
That's what the spell is.
I love when
he's just singing the score. I wish he was singing the creepy piano music.
Singing the score just like I did last week on this podcast.
Yeah.
So the lights flip on. Cordelia's found out. Wes and Fred have guns, and Angel's here, and they all fucking knew it. This was a goddamn trap. And the episode ends on a magic 8-ball joke.
Which that part I remember vividly.
I yelled when it cut to black after that. I was like, this is how we're ending this? Did that have some greater significance I didn't understand? Or was it just like, no, Lawrence got just like because
he has no psychic mojo, but they do know. So like, this is him being like,
I found the Magic 8-Ball ending really odd, but I'm glad everybody knows Cordy's a dang-ass freak now.
Everybody but Connor.
Oh, Connor. Yeah. I haven't breathed in so long.
If I just
breathe, everything is alright. Great. Now that we all know Cordy's bad, except for Gunn and Connor, would you recommend any WB for Team Angel to tune into to unwind?
Yes.
Hit it, bitch.
Angel is a vampire. Does he even like TV?
I think he'll like the WB.
They got that hot teen drama to ease the pain and trauma. And here's the episode that he needs to see.
Oh, yeah.
Everyone but Gunn, he is exempt, needs to watch Charmed Season 4, Episode 21, Womb Raider. That is the episode after season 4, episode 20, the one episode arc of Long Live the Queen, the greatest episode of the series that's only a 1 episode arc. But that's for another day. Womb Raider is when Cole has been vanquished. It's just Phoebe all by herself with this demon-ass baby. And this demon-ass baby says, I hate you, Aunt Paige. Yep. Don't trust demon-ass babies.
Do not trust them.
Really, fucking Cordelia needs to be watching it fucking with her eyes open wide on a loop. Connor, too.
Clockwork Orange style.
Everyone's except but Connor and Cordy.
Yep. Perfect. I love it. Any closing thoughts on this app? Which I thought, I really enjoyed the gun stuff, even though I found it very, frustrating to voice the problem, but not promise to fix it. But now, in context, I'm trying to enjoy it for what it is, and I'm just so fucking thankful that we're on the other side of this reveal, kind of, with Cordy.
Yeah.
So, yeah, this is a solid one.
Vaguely what I remember of the next episode, I'm like, will we be unhappy yay or unhappy nay?
Tune in to find out.
Things are explained, but there's some really dark shit in the episode. And there's also another one I always kind of forget what it is, but there's good stuff. Right. There's some returns.
Ooh. Well, until fucking next time, you can follow us on socials at Angel on Top Cast on Twitter and Instagram. You can join us on Patreon at angelontop.com. You can join our Discord, which is fun. We have a lot of little chats there, and you have unprecedented access to me and LaToya there. Also, you should keep your eyes and ears peeled for some live events in the Patreon space. Perhaps a new little bit of content coming your way, WB themed, wink, wink, nudge, nudge. And also, if you want to follow me on social media, you can do so at Lorgan Lutich. Thank you. That's very nice of you. LaToya, where can the people find you, and should they?
First of all, I have Michelle Branch's Breathe stuck in my head. I'm surprised I haven't had it stuck in my head all day since it was the first song I listened to this morning. But yeah, I'm on Twitter at LaFergs, I guess.
Hell fucking yeah. And until next time, you are now checking out of the Hyperion. Ding ding.
Dana Schwartz, and this is Rise or Die, the official companion podcast for Peacock's original series, Those About to Die. On this podcast, I go behind the scenes with the show's cast and creators to learn how they brought their brutal vision of Rome to life.
Gosh, people will freak out.
Rise or Die launches on July 18th. Watch or listen wherever you get your podcasts.
Contained herein are the heresies of Radolf Burntwine, erstwhile monk turned traveling medical investigator. Join me as I uncover the blasphemous truth of a plague-ridden world, that ours is not a loving God, and we are not its favored children. The heresies of Radolf Burntwine, coming January 2nd, wherever podcasts are available.